Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in Waffle County in our Rebuild or Redevelop series. I am super excited to announce that I think, knock on wood, I think we've got things working again. The only thing I can't yet figure out, and I'm still having issue with, is connecting the train station over here in Port Sirepo to the downtown area that we've been working on, or I guess like the just general area we've been working on. This, I don't think, is an issue with the trains in terms of my game. I think there's just some kind of glitch happening somewhere. I'm still figuring this one out, but for this area, these trains are working, and I've been testing bus lines, and so far they've been working great. Huge shout out, and I'm probably going to shout this person out like a few times today, but JMWZ, who comments on pretty much every video and has been here for, I honestly think since like one of the initial episodes of Westfield, so they've been here a while. They recommended that I download the compatibility mod checker. It gives you a report every time you load up the game. I was able to consolidate my mod list to some newer mods that are currently being updated and are currently active, and those mods have just made my game run so much smoother. Like, I'm at a much better frame rate throughout, and the quality of my game, like, it just looks nicer. Today, what are we doing? The whole episode today is going to be basically bus related. So if you're not interested in buses, you can watch it, but this episode's probably not for you. This is the first draft of my bus lines. You'll notice there's tons of looping kind of circuit buses, and that's great and all, but if we take a closer look, if you live in Ridgeside and you're trying to get all the way over to, say, North Park, you've got to transfer from the Ridgeside line
to the blue line, to the pink line, to the green line, to the light pink line, to the purple line.
Like, it just really was not the setup that we should have. So instead, today, we are going to be building this bus route network. All of the bus lines that function as shuttles, meaning that they are on primarily one road going to and from. All going to be route numbers that are odd. That odd number lets us know as the viewer that those are shuttle style buses. Then we're also going to have circuit or loop routes. Those route numbers are going to be even, and that lets us know that that is a circuit that is not going from just A to B, but it's going to have two separate lines that go opposing directions. The first route we're going to be building is going to be route number 1, and route number 1 is going to be coming from the Heather Meadows train station and going all the way over to the ELK district. So we're going to start building this off here at Heather Meadows. I'm going to place a stop in front of our train station, but this is going to come over this bus line, and this is our main avenue, our main drag that we started this city on. So we're going to place one stop here, and we'll place one more just another block further up. There's not much happening on this block here, so I'm not super concerned about placing anything here. And we're going to come on over and stop twice here in Edgemont on both of these blocks. We'll come a little bit further along, and we'll place one stop here in the middle of this area here, and then we'll come around here and stop on this curve of ELK District, about to enter into the ELK district, proper, and change our direction. And then I think what we'll do is we will do one stop right here by the train station, so you're literally walking a half block. We're gonna do a stop on this road right in front of this high school. We're gonna come right back around, and then when we get over here, we'll add maybe one more stop, but here by Heather Meadows, so you can enter into Heather Meadows from here. This is going to be Route 1. We're just going to go and add in some abbreviations here. So it is working with Ridgeside. So let's do RDS for Ridgeside. And it goes all the way over to ELK. So from Ridgeside to ELK, I am going to change this because it is a route, because it's a shuttle bus. We are going to make this, let's go for the bendy. And if we need to upgrade it later, we can. And we'll do a super bendy, but let's go ahead and place that down. Now let's do our second bus route. It's gonna come from a Ridgeside and go all the way down to the Port Song train station. We'll start over here at this block, and we will place one bus stop here. We'll place another one. Let's see, we come down this curve road, so we could place it a little bit further away. Maybe we place it down here. We come around and we start curving down here. We'll place one there as well. And some areas are going to have better connectivity than others, and that is just kind of what happens. It's okay. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that there's a decent spread of stops. Now this stop here, it's not perfectly connecting to these, but it is such a close walk that if you got off here, you could easily transfer once to the other bus stop. In the first version of this, you would have to transfer so many times. And with this new version, the transfers are much less. So I think at this point, we're going to stop here in front of the library and in front of P. Fulton Park. And then we're just going to come straight on down and we'll stop in front of the train station. There's nothing happening here. There might be things here in the future. We can add a stop there then, but I don't think we need it now. And then we're just going to follow this right back up. Let's add in the down version of this. Great. If this causes any issues with people coming off the highway and getting stuck behind a bus, we can adjust that. This here will be route number 3 because it is a shuttle bus, so it has to be an odd number. And this is going from Ridgeside over to Port Song. So let's do Port PT and then S for Song. And again, because this is a pretty significant shuttle kind of style, we'll go ahead and give it a bendy bus. So the next one we're going to do is route number 7. It starts out over here. Eventually, if we have this train station here over in the Elk District, there'll be another train station in this area somewhere once we finish, eventually, the interchange that I keep neglecting to build. But there will be a stop right around here somewhere, probably on this upper block, and then we're going to stop on the road here. These are businesses. We'll do one here and one here. I don't mind stopping on each block. But then this Route 7 is going to primarily go down along this road. So we'll stop here. We'll bring it down and stop. I don't want to stop right here because of the way that we have the highway right here. Let's do one here and one down here. So we're by the library and Concord Hill Park. We will bring it further down and stop down here by the cemetery. We'll go right past the cemetery. And then we'll send it down here. This is all residential on this side, but over here is all commercial. So we'll stop over at this side, and then we're going to cross over the train line. I want to stop right in front, but I also want to stop before. So we'll stop here by those other businesses as well as I believe this is the fish factory. And then we'll stop once in front of our train. And this is where I'm going to deviate just a bit from the map and the drawing I had before. Instead of sending this over here to these two one-ways, we're actually going to loop this around right about here. We'll stop on this side, close to this little park area as well as this plaza. And then we're going to stop once over here next to the recycling centers and these businesses, because this is all a pretty substantial business corridor. We'll cross over ourselves and we're going to come right back up. This is going to be called route number 7, and it's going to go from NATO Landing, so NDL, all the way down to RVS. Riverside, Ridgeside, they're pretty similar, but that's okay. And just like in our image, we'll make this kind of like a light, almost like a Pepto-Bismol-y type pink. Let's go ahead and do the bendy buses again on this. Let's do 2 more. See what they look like, and then we'll hit play. I want to do route number 8, which is going to be up here. This is a circuit, so it's an even number. It's how we know. It's going to share this stop here. So let's go ahead and just place, let's just hit play. Let's just let this run while we're doing this. There's no reason this can't be playing while we do it. Route 8 is going to start here, and it's going to share these 3 stops for sure. We'll cross over the highway bridge, come on over here and stop by the cemetery and the park, as well as these industrial buildings. And then we're going to share some stops here on route number 3. So we'll share this stop. At this point, we're going to make a kind of deviation from that so we can start servicing this area a bit. So we'll stop here, as well as just before the bridge, and we'll stop once inside of the kind of industrial complex, I guess, and then we'll connect right back up here. And because this is a circuit, we're going to want to duplicate and make a second bus line. So we have number 5, which is going counterclockwise. So this is going to be route number, what did I say this was? This was route number 8. It's going mainly from NATO Landing, so NDL, over to Ridgeside, which is going to be RDS, And because it's going counterclockwise, we're going to give it a W at the end. This route here, route number 8, again, NDL to RDS. And because it's going clockwise, we're going to give it a C. That way we can keep track of which direction all of these different buses are going. Let's go ahead and build route 2. So route 2 is our purple route, and it is really the intention of this route is to connect our main university campus over to the small satellite area we have by the ELK District train station. So this is going to start up here, pretty residential area, and it's going to come right on down. Let's actually back that up. It's going to start right there, come on down and stop right here at this pathway. So people can get off this bus and immediately just flood into the university, which is awesome. So it's going to come straight along here. We are going to then cross under the highway and skipping this area, stop here in front of the senior center, go a little bit further up just to collect some people in this neighborhood. And we will stop right here before we cross over this one-way road. We will loop around and we will stop on this side. So now we are going to the satellite campus. So you could easily get on here and what? 1, 2, 3, 4 stops and you're at the other campus. And we will bring this right on up to here and we'll add in a path so you can connect the other side of the train line. And then we will share one stop on Route 1, which is crossing across our map. And then we will bring this around and stop in front of the high school. So again, big, highly trafficked area. We'll stop once here by the opposite entrance for Concord Hill Park, as well as servicing this residential area. We'll do one more stop. What is this? Oh, another cemetery. Great. So we'll do one more stop by the cemetery and then we'll reconnect. And then because this is a circuit, we are going to just mirror the exact same bus line. For this, these are going to be purple. And I kind of like the idea of like really, like if we're going to make it purple, let's make them purple. This again is Route 2. And Route 2 is really going from the Forest Polytech Institute, so FPI, over to the ELK District. And this particular one is the counterclockwise, so it gets a W. So now we've got those routes together. Let's go ahead and come down this way. And we have this pink route here, Route 7. And we're going to want to get some kind of connection to North Park. So we've already got a little bit of connectivity here in ELK District. And if you live out here, you're walking 1-2 blocks over to one of these train stations, or excuse me, bus stops. Over here again, 1-2 blocks to get to these bus stops. But I think this area needs a bit of a circuit because this is way too far from any of these bus stops. So let's place a bus stop here in front of the train station. This bus stop is then going to come around here to collect some of the people on this far side, as well as, you know, we'll send us even further down because these people are pretty far from any bus lines. We will send it underneath the train right in front of this entrance to Anchor Gardens. And then this is where, again, we're going to deviate just slightly from our original plan. We'll stop here by the bakery, but then I'm also going to stop over on this side of the road so that you could transfer to this pink line pretty easily if you want. And it also avoids me having buses stopping on these one-way roads that are very much functioning as arterial style roads. This stop will go right here near our helicopter complex, and then we're going to do an additional stop. I think we'll do a stop here on the avenue. Not a whole ton is servicing this avenue just yet. Better yet, let's do a stop here by these businesses, and you're close to these parks, so we'll do an additional one there, and then we'll reconnect up. So it's slightly different from what we had initially planned, but I think this does give a little bit better connectivity. This is going to be route number 4. So this is just going to be the NDO loop. I removed the extra dash that we had separating the route number from the locations it's serving, as well as I moved the C and the W's behind the number so that it just, I think, makes a bit more sense. So you get the 8C bus and that's telling you which direction it's going, whereas if you get the 8W bus, it's telling you which direction it's going. Huge thank you to JMWZ, because on top of suggesting the mod that they did, they also drew an image on top of my image, kind of giving me some suggestions of what I should do for these bus lines. And I can't thank you enough for your just like thoughtful insight, your opinions, and for just kind of helping me figure out what's the best way to approach this. So huge props to you. I appreciate it. While our buses are still kind of working themselves out, I do think we want to change this area right here. So you'll notice in my notes that I have this area marked as potentially becoming a transit stop. And the reason for that is I have 3 different buses that are going to terminate in this area. So let me figure out where this stuff is even at. I could have swore there was one in here. There we go. Bus station. Bus station is a hub for bus traffic, and it acts as a designated place where a bus or coach starts or ends its scheduled route. This is what I'm thinking will go here. There is some houses that are going to be affected by this. That is okay. But let's go ahead and just quickly pause, and we are going to clear out this whole block, as well as all these paths. In this area, it fits absolutely perfectly. We are going to place this bus guy, I think, at the far end. Reason being, it's going to cover less houses with all this bus noise. We've got a cemetery behind us. I think we're going to remove these buses or homes there. We will place a tree-lined path. Let's turn off our road guidelines and place a path right here. We will also place a path right here and keep this path that we had from before. But instead of having homes there, we'll turn all those into businesses. Now, let's drag this bus route, and we're just going to have this stop. Now, this might be overkill for the moment because I'm only going to have a few buses stopping here, but I do think I want to find maybe a smaller version of this. So the next one we're going to do is going to be route number 9. Yeah, route number 9. Route number 9 will have it stop right here. What is this one? Intercity bus. You know what? This one's much smaller. That's a much better station. So let's use that instead. Let's replace this path because I think that looks nice. And you know what? We're just going to have it kind of cover both of these. And although we have a parking lot there, there's not much parking here with our bus station. So let's do parking. So now we've got some advertisements as people kind of walk through, grab their buses, etc., etc. Let's go ahead and just round this out. They didn't even use this section anyway, so they don't really want it. But now we've got ample parking. It sucks for the, well, it's business. Doesn't suck. That's perfect. Let's now move this bus line into here somewhere. It'll be the very first stop. Great. So now, next bus line. Let's create a new line right here, starting here. And this is going to be route number 9. This is going to come out here by this portion of Port Song. It's going to stop here in front of this memorial park that we have from some previous disasters, as well as stop over here, giving a better access to this field and another entrance to the university. And come along all 3 of these stops before coming down this road. It's going to come, actually, it might stop on this side. We'll keep it on this road. It's close to this pathway, which leads over to this terminal area as well as the cemetery. And it's then going to cross over, and we're going to do a few stops in here. So we haven't developed all of Sunset Heights just yet. Let's go ahead and hit play. Got to stop pausing it. Got to work on that. But it'll stop right here and then start coming down this diagonal. So it'll stop in the heart of the diagonal. It'll stop by the main park, and then it will stop over here in front of these buildings on the avenue. And then we're just going to send it right back up and around to go do the reverse. But once it gets here, it will then kind of loop back around and complete the connection. It looks a little wonky. That is okay with me. This is our route number 9, which is really going from kind of Sunset Heights over to Port Song area. So PTS. Ooh, reputation achieved we've now become a renowned university. We will absolutely be looking at that before we finish. So this is going to be route number 5. It's going to, again, stop here by the Port Song train station. This is kind of becoming a pretty significant train station, which I didn't realize it was going to, but that's okay. It's going to come down here, share one of these stops with the other line, and then it's going to come onto this avenue. So we'll stop here in front of these businesses. It'll stop over here in front of the park. It will stop over here in front of these businesses and homes. It's going to come under the highway, and then we are going to come around this area, sharing this stop with this pink line. So let's go ahead. We're going to deviate slightly from the original plan, but we're going to stop here. We will come, let's actually stop right here, kind of a little bit further up. Then we will come up this way. So we're stopping by this park, come down on the other side of the park, and then we will come back around, which makes me want to move this. Let's move this back down again. I liked it better where it was before. That way we can kind of share it on both sides. And then we're going to just follow this all the way down. This will be route number 5, which is really servicing Port Song, so PTS, over to kind of Riverside, so RVS. Let's go ahead and make this, I'm thinking that this is kind of like a nicer, a little bit more richer green. I think there's one line we need left. So we've got 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and we have 2, 4, we don't have 6. Actually, this is great because by putting the C and the W at the end of the number, it's grouping our shuttle line buses with our odd numbers up here and our circuit line buses with our even numbers down here. So let's do our final circuit. Our final circuit is route number 6, which is going to be going around Port Song. Sunset Heights. This is the only area in the city right now that has high density. So I did want to have a dedicated line that was focused on this area and serving the people that were here, just in case you lived over here and worked over here. As we get more high density, we're going to want some circuits that are serving kind of the neighborhood, and then these shuttle buses will cut through that neighborhood, allowing for better connectivity all around. We're going to start right here, and we are going to stop here in front of the hospital. On my actual notes, I have 2 stops here. I don't think that's necessary. I think 1 stop is just fine. Then we'll stop here and stop at each block. So there'll be 3 stops on this road. A little bit overkill, that's okay. This closest one services the 2 education centers we have here. We'll share the stop here close to the park. We will then come up here and stop in front of these buildings. You know what? We're going to add 3 here as well. Then we're going to curve around and we will do, I think, 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do the opposite of this. This is going to be route number 6. And this first one that we're on right now is going clockwise. So that gets a C. And this is just Sunset Heights. This one's counterclockwise, so it gets a W. Sunset Heights, and then these are going to be orange. So let's go ahead and come down here into this orange area and give it just a bit brighter of an orange. But we're going to go ahead and change these to double-decker. The airport buses, I don't want to do airport, so we'll change this to the regular double-decker just so we get some more people, because I did find in my testing that this stop over here ended up having a lot of people on it. But now we've got our bus lines. A general rule of thumb I try to follow is I'd like to see 10% of our population using the bus routes. So in that case, we would want to have 2,300 people using the buses. And at the current moment, we have 1,792. So that is about 1,800 plus 300 tourists, which gives us roughly 2,100. We're 200 off. But that is keeping in mind that we just placed these down and there are no passengers on them just yet. So for now, we're going to abandon buses just for a moment. And I want to come over here and look at our university and see if there's anything we can do with our university now that we've unlocked some new buildings. So we need way more students, which we are going to work on, but we also need an attractiveness of 900. First things first, though, let's go ahead and give a research grant, and we're making twice as much money as we're spending. So let's think about some policies. Student health care increases student health. Campus upkeep costs $5 per student, I assume is what that means. Increases student happiness. Campus upkeep increases by $1 per student. And increases faculty bonuses by 25%, increases faculty upkeep by 25%. If we do visiting scholars, we'll see where that kind of changes this, but I can't imagine it's going to be too crazy. So let's go ahead and also increase our academic staff just a bit. If we do 2,000 and do it to 75 staff, it's not bad. What if we do, let's do one more. Let's do 8 staff. We're still in the positive. So we'll do 8 staff. We'll increase that just a little bit. Let's see what we've got here. So we have, under our trade school, we've got dorms. We've got a lot of this. We already have this outdoor study. The gymnasium we've already built. I think this is the gymnasium. Yep, so we've got a gym. We've got a cafeteria. I know that. We don't have this, the trade school fountain. This is a new building for us, which we could place maybe over this way somewhere. Or we can maybe place it in one of these areas. So we'll hold on to that just yet because we have to see what else we've got. A library. Ooh, this is a nice building. And I think it would be nice if the library was near to the entrance, or the library could go near. Can it fit in this area? Not cleanly. Not without some like significant issues. I think this is too far. IT club, I think this is small. Yeah, this is tiny. This can really fit anywhere. This could just like go maybe even in here near the little book club. And then our commencement office. This I do think really should go near the main building. And you can imagine if this is facing here, if all the graduates are sitting out in the seats, the pictures you're taking are going to have this building behind it. So let's go ahead and place this, I think, right here. We're just going to scooch this a little bit over and actually a little bit down so that it's connecting into that area. Now let's grab our path. I think we send the path all the way around, just like so. So it goes up the back, set all that to the same height. And I don't mind that we're having this cliff here. Now, knock on wood, this was working before. Let's see if it's working now. Beautiful. Look at that. Whatever was happening with the frame rate is now gone. This does give us a bit of space back here, which is wonderful. So we could think about putting something else back this way. The library could fit really nicely right here. I think we move the dorms. I think one of our dorm buildings with anarchy on, let's stick one of these dorms right here. There are a few trees cutting into the back of the building, but we'll place one set of dorms there. And then I think over here, I want to place a path right on through. Can this fit here? Pretty much. I'm happy with that. So let's place 2 more dorms over this way. We've got a 3rd dorm over here. And we can now fit in our library kind of on the main campus. Because now the library can go right here facing into the center quad of our park area. We've got numerous dorm buildings throughout. What is the capacity that we have? 4,500. So we actually could get rid of, I think, one of these and still be in a decent spot. Yeah, 4,200. Campus attractiveness, we still need a bit more to fill this all the way out. I don't think the area we have set up right now is going to be enough to give this full attractiveness, but that's okay. Oh, we already built both of those. This is the one we need to build. Let's just put it right here. Yeah, right there. Looks nice. Maybe we'll even do one regular like generic path and send it straight underneath into the back of that building. So that looks pretty good. I might actually even move this book club building. The book club building feels so out of place compared to everything else. The book club building is going to go behind. Oh, I don't have collision turned on. Hold on. Let's turn this back on. And now let's move this one more time. Right there. That's much better. That feels more like the building you see, because we could also pretend that this is you know, the president's house or something, so that when you're sitting here at commencement, you can see this beautiful building. Let's get a check, drum roll. Let's see if we are serving at least 10% of our population with public transit. We've got 2,161 residents and almost 400. We'll split the difference here. We'll call this 400 tourists and 2,100 residents. So that's giving us 2,500 people, which is absolutely 10%. Let's do a quick dive into each of our different bus routes and see if anything is going terribly wrong. Starting with route number 6C, this is our Sunset Heights route. It's servicing 59% of the population. This particular stop's got 91, 99. Is this the one I was thinking it was? No, it's actually a different one, but that's okay. The other ones are pretty empty. It only has 3 buses. I'm okay with that. All these other ones are being served pretty well. This second one, this is serving 0%. That's not great. It does have a few people on it. This, though, could just change to a regular bus. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. It's just more there to help some people get around, but it's not really being have that high of a demand. Route number 1, our original. So let's go over here. Route number 1, 59% car trip saved. Is there any stops that are outlandish? No, all this looks pretty good. There's still some openings, not a ton, but some openings on our buses, which is wonderful to see. Okay, route number 3, which is Ridgeside to Port Song, 59%. Nothing too crazy. This is, they're getting to this stop and they're full, so there is a bit too much demand before they reach here and here. This is actually getting quite exciting. So why don't we go ahead and change this? Instead of changing it to a super bendy just yet, let's just give it 9 buses instead of the 7, and we'll see if that helps them out. Route 5, let's go to one of these stops. Route 5 is our green. This is serving Port Song to Riverside. This stop here has got 66 with a full bus, but this is empty. So I think that's probably related to the train. We've got more than enough space on some of these. Route 7, which is our NATO landing to Riverside. We've got, how many? We got 7 buses on here. Looks like some of them are bunching up right here. Yeah, this particular road, this small stretch of road has got actually a decent amount of traffic on it. So I'm going to have to come back through and fix this. All right, so that's our pink line. Did we actually see how she was doing? Overall, this bus is empty, but this has got 100, this has got 100, this has got 175. Where are these stops at? Oh, these are all down this way. All right, I am going to go ahead and make a decision to change this one, Route 7, to a super bendy bus. Route 9, this is Sunset Heights to Port Song. This here, ooh, this particular stop right here, not even the one by the train station, has got 420 people. This one here's got 420 people, and it's got 8 buses. All right, this is going to become super bendy buses. We'll keep it at 8, but this will now be able to serve 100 people per bus, and we'll see if that can level itself out over time, serving 47% of the people. Now back to our routes. We've got our route number 2, serving 50% of people. All these routes here, this is doing pretty good. The counterclockwise version of this is servicing 55% of people. Nothing is too overstretched. And this is coming up here. It's going to miss 1 or 2 people, but not too many. I think this could serve with what's regular buses. Let's give it 2 more. All right. Looking at route 4. Route 4 serving 73.
Meteorologists are issuing a thunderstorm warning for the coming days. Citizens are advised to stay indoors.
We'll survive. 73%. This is fine. This is doing fine. It might even be over bust, but I think 5 buses is not too many, so I'm comfortable leaving just those as is. And then let's also look at this one here, 105. No bus line or bus routes here are overtaxed, serving 70% of people, but Route 4 is really doing well. And then our final route is Route 8. This is serving this area here. So we've got NATO landing to Ridgeside. We've got 4 buses, 51%. This particular stop is a little hectic. So it's probably people getting off of this Route 5, and then they're trying to transition over to Route 8. Which is going to be a little crazy. I would say let's just give it 6 buses. I don't want to upgrade that, I think, to the higher version just yet. That seems a little like overkill. And the counterclockwise version, 49 here, also has 4 buses, but they're all pretty much filling by the time they reach here. And this is happening at this level. So let's just upgrade this to 6. I think that's pretty good. So now we're at 2,700 people using our bus routes, which is fantastic, with not a huge amount of population change this episode. But I think by having all of these new bus routes, we are really going to start meeting some of the demand for our citizens. And hopefully all these buses help with our traffic. This is really becoming a problem. I'm thinking that this particular road we don't need. And if there are businesses on the backside of that road, they're just going to have to move, because this is just too much. You're going to need to come on out and come out this interchange here, this intersection. This intersection here is going to be reserved for our buses. It just has to be. So I think that's pretty good. We are getting a little bit of a lightning storm. It's far away.
A thunderstorm is battering the city. Stay indoors until the storm has passed.
I don't think, unfortunately, like this doesn't work very well, so you can't really see what's happening. So we've got some thunderstorms. I'm not too concerned about it, but I think that we're in a really good spot. Our Polytech Institute, the attractiveness is not totally there yet, but we're going to keep working on that. We're still making money, even with all of our expansion and our added buildings. And then we're working on a new, what is this? Academic works. So we're getting there slowly but surely. So I think that's where we're going to leave this part here. I know it was very bus heavy, but we've really neglected it. And after the problems in the last episode, we just needed to sit down and get some buses going. So I'm really excited with how all this turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm going to throw up really quickly the map of our bus route once we look at all of these people. Oh my gosh. Thank God they're not standing in the rain. That would suck. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any suggestions on how we can improve our bus network. And I will see you guys in the next one.